I think someone asked me if the future of schooling or education is going to look a lot different. And almost, I want to say it will look a lot different, but I think the learning institutions or higher education or schools in general will not lose their luster. And here's the reason why I say they will not lose their luster, because schools have always been there for thousands of years, right? But I do think something is going to happen in the future, and it has already started happening now, that people are getting degrees and they don't have the skills to enter or to go into the fields that they actually have the degrees in. So what is happening now is people are saying, okay, I have the degree, but now I want to choose my place of learning. Where do I learn the skills for my current job? Or where do I go to learn the skills for the career that I actually went to school for? So the workplaces are going to be places of learning. And I think a research came out where workers or employees are actually choosing their places of work to learn your career skills or the job skills that you're currently in. So I think the future is going to be like a seismic shift towards learning, and I think places of learning will be a bigger impact. It will be a dominant impact when it comes to the future of education. I will say this. So I think in the future of work or in the future of education, there's going to be a distinction between places of employment and places of learning. So there's going to be like this brand identity that comes with it, just like what we were seeing now with the Ivies and the public Ivies and the state schools and the HBCUs and all of that. So it's going to be a brand name distinction where people are going to say, okay, if I go to the brand name learning institutions, I'm only going to get a degree, but when I do come out, I will struggle to get a job. And then the others are going to say, if I go to the brand name employers, at least I know I have a job and I know I can learn skills on the job that pertains to my career or my job. So I think people are going to choose the brand name employers over the brand name learning institutions. But I still think the institutions are not going to lose their luster. I think the value of degrees are still intact, and it is still something that people will continue to pursue in the future. I think when it comes to degrees, we have to look at the difference in differences, okay? I always say look at the difference in differences because, I mean, if you want to get a doctorate just to earn the highest in your field, it might not be true in your geographical region or in the field that you are pursuing. Certain associate degrees, you will make more than a bachelor's degree. Certain bachelor's degree, you will make more than a master's degree. Certain master's degree, you will make more than a doctorate. Certain Ph.D.s, you will make more than associate, bachelor's, and master's put together. So I think you have to, individual pursuing degrees, you have to look, and credentials or qualifications, you have to look at the difference in differences to see if those align perfectly or progressively with the plans that you have for your future goals. I think micro-credentials and credentials of value will make a lot of sense, or micro skills, I should say, will make a lot of sense as the decades move on, because more and more people want to invest in credentials of value, credentials that will get them the actual skills development, that will get them the actual jobs that they will look for in the labor market. So I think people that are really interested in micro-credentials they don't want to spend the time that it requires at least 4 years or so to be in the classroom. They want skills that will get them ready for the career that they want to go into within a couple of months. And those skills have to be credible. It has to be a qualification that they are also proud of. So I think more and more universities are going to be investing in micro-credentials and credentials of value and other micro skills certifications and also industry certification. I can see a lot of industry associations also making strides to create their own version of training and development when it comes to career skills. I think the industries are not going to live it up to the learning institutions or universities to do that. I think they will have an in-house career training development programs that will get workers ready to go into the jobs that they have created. I think another thing that we also have to look into is HR. What are the change management within HR, right? So is HR going to use the bachelor's degree as the benchmark, or are they going to use the credentials of value like micro-credentials, or are they going to count micro-credentials or micro-skills as part of the benchmark of credentials or qualifications that they are looking for in specific job descriptions? So I think more and more collaboration would need to happen within the workplace, within certain domains, when it comes to HR, when it comes to organizational development, when it comes to organizational leadership, and also employees and other workers within the larger network of employers. I think the value of college is worth it if any individual wants to pursue it. I think it's an incredible endeavor to pursue a college degree, but what I will say is have a plan in place while you are thinking about pursuing a college degree. Make sure you have your goals aligned with the kind of degree that you want to pursue. In other words, the whole thing about workforce development is education and careers. So make sure that your education is aligned with the career that you dreamed of pursuing or that you dream of entering in as a professional. So I think college degrees are definitely worth it. Individuals too have to do their homework when it comes to credentials of value. I think the future professional profile is going to look very different from what we are seeing in our modern society. I think you're going to see people who are skilled teachers. At the same time, they might be skilled plumbers, meaning that they have the teacher credentials and qualifications, but they also went for other credentials of value, such as becoming a plumber or working in the trades or becoming an HVAC. So you're going to see someone who might be a theology professional, but that person is also skilled in HVAC. That person is also skilled in auto mechanics. So I think the future profile of the professional is going to be or is going to be or. So someone having the skills that they went to school for, and then they also going after trade skills to make them more marketable in the labor market, because we see more and more college graduates that have the bachelor's degree, but yet they're going or enrolling at community colleges to get the skills that they did not get from their bachelor's degree. So I think that would be the professional profile of the future professional, where they have their credentials of value, they have their qualifications that they went to school for, but they also are chasing after credentials of value, such as the trade skills, to make them more marketable in the labor market when it comes to employment.